Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Hey. Come on in, come on in. For those that are just joining, I'm Nekia Foxx from the Transformation Place, where I help amazing women and men transform from the inside out. I just had to come on and check on with you all. Getting ready for this new year. Come on, join on in. For those that are joining the replay, hello, Sharon. How are you doing? Listen. I want to challenge you all to join the mission of really maxing out and not leaving anything on the table for 2020, right? Blessings, Sharon. How are you doing? Hello, Dennis Love. Blessings. Listen, don't leave anything on the table. One of my mentors told me, I want to challenge you all to join me, and just put join when you literally, and share this out to somebody, because these two questions is what changed my life. You know, when you want to make six figures in a quick amount of time, when you want to be able to hit these goals in your life, when you want to be able to make money in your sleep, listen, it's available, you guys. All you have to do is assess. Listen, these two questions is what changed my life. I started working on these in January of last year. The first question, hello, beautiful. The first question was, I wrote down a list of 10 people that I deal with. Hello, Jessica. How are you doing? I wrote down a list of 10 people that I deal with on a regular basis. Just take 30 days of your life. Who are the 10 people that you deal with on a consistent basis? Next to their name, write down the value that they add to your life. That's right, the value that they add to your life. Write down next to those 10 people that you deal with on a consistent basis in a month, time frame. What value do they add to your life? The second question is, you're going to take 10 things that you have continuously, hello Barbara, that you continuously have dealt with, that you've seen, that, because we all have cycles in life. We're all on individual journeys getting to our highest self, right? We're all on a mission to be able to add impact and value to the world. I would hope that's what we're about. But you want to ask yourself, what are the 10 circumstances that you continuously deal with over the last decade? Over the last decade, 10 years, what are the consensus, the cycle of things that you continually deal with? Is it you dealing with your blood pressure? Is it you getting your health together? Is it that you, hello Roderick, is it that you are learning how to have emotional maturity, emotional control? Let me tell you something, when it's time to deal with major contracts, and when you are going, you guys, I'm getting my NutriBurst. If you do not have NutriBurst in your life, it will change your life. When I tell you the level of energy that you get from this drink alone is amazing. I challenged all of my clients to get a bottle for their husbands, because a lot of times the men, especially if they're the head of the household, they're not getting the proper nutrients. They're not getting the level of balance that they need in their body. And as women, you want to make sure that the men that's in your life, that they're well taken care of. So NutriBurst, if you don't have NutriBurst on your team, you need to get it. Listen, the instant energy. I have 2 projects I got to finish by the end of the day, and I know I need this type of energy. This is going to make sure that my body is taken care of. It has 72 nutrients in it. I mean, packed. It's like 10 salads in one bottle. You can go to my website and follow this. But let me get back to what I was saying. What are the 10 people that you deal with on a monthly basis? What value do they add to your life? Ask yourself that. What value? Because remember, you are only a collaboration of the people that you deal with it on a consistent basis. You're only going to achieve as far as your environment. You are only going to be able to acquire based on your level of exposure and their level of exposure. So one thing that I want to challenge you all moving into 2020, and what has changed my life in 2019, to be able to get ourselves prepared. What is the value that the people that you deal with, what do they add to your life? The second question is, what are the 10 circumstances that you continuously deal with on a daily basis throughout 10-year span of time? What are the 10 circumstances that you really are like, listen, in order for me to have the life that I want to live, in order for me to become the person that I know I am to be, you have to transform. And that means that the 10 things that you're frustrated with, or the 10 people that you're frustrated with, you need to provide a solution on the side of it. So get your notebook and write a solution on the side of the 10 frustrations that you've been receiving in your life. I was telling my mom the other day, a lot of people are like, oh, money is not everything. Listen, financial freedom allows you to be able to buy your time. Financial freedom allows you to not literally be in work mode and being on the Ferris wheel going over around and around and around again, because the Bible declares that we are to leave wealth for our children's children. And whatever you do not know, somebody else knows. And it's your responsibility in this one life to be able to fill in the gaps from your healing aspect internally from your childhood. It's your responsibility to be able to mentally prepare yourself for what your journey requires. It's your responsibility to get out and meet people that you do not know. It's your responsibility. Nothing is falling out of the sky. Nothing is going to be handed out into your lap. It's all about you gaining the capacity to be able to become that person. It's like I meet so many and they're like, oh my goodness, I want this type of money and that type of money. What are you going to do with it? Do you know how to properly invest? Do you know what stocks and bonds? Do you understand what type of revenue you need to have coming in? Do you understand the streams of income that you want to be able to add to your portfolio? Is that something that you're working on so that you can have residual income? It doesn't matter if you wake up in the morning, you are making money. And guess what happens? Blessings, Maya, beautiful. In order to change lives, it requires funds. In order to fund dreams, when we all have all of these dreams in our lives and we're like, oh, I want to do this and that, it requires money. And listen, we are in an abundant world. There is no lack. There is nothing missing. You have every single thing you need in this world. It's up to you. If you don't know it, read a book. It's a book on a topic that you are interested in. If you are not aware of how do I make at least 6 figures yearly without lifting up a finger. Generationally, we were taught that if we need more money, we should work, right? Do more work. And that allows us to burn our bodies down. That allows us to have less times with our families. One thing I've learned, that I've had the opportunity of being able to be with 2 souls when they left this earth. And when you are dealing with individuals, when it's at the last breath, the last moment, nobody is talking about money. They're talking about a lot of things they wish they would have done. When you are amongst the living, make sure that you understand your truth value in reference to what is this life really about for me? Who am I? What value do I offer those that I encounter? What do I want out of this life? How can I be able to add instead of take away? Like let's get with the real nitty gritty. So many people want the money, but the money is already in you. If you actually have a clear idea of who you are, what you have to offer, and then you actually can strategize how you are able to get to the masses and make a difference in this world. And the finances, remember, broke people can't help anybody. So when you are in a place of financial freedom, you're able to change lives in a way that people listen to people that are able to make a change. They don't listen to opinions and thoughts and feelings. They listen to whomever can make a change in their life. If you are one of those that are chosen to be givers, or if you're one of those that are chosen to be in a position that you know that the Lord has blessed you to always have, to be able to give, then you have a responsibility to be able to identify, especially in 2020. This is not any ordinary year. This is the year that you want your game plan just as clear as it, like very crystal clear. You want to, clear out your environment so that you can stay laser focused on what you need to do so that you can optimize the impact that you do next year, because the money is looking for you. Listen, one thing, people just think they hear me sitting out here talking about the multivitamins and how I'm able, see, this CBD tea has changed my life in reference to, it's allowed me to keep weight off. When you are sluggish, You know, so many, we're in the holidays, everybody's eating sugars. You understand that you're going to be feeling sluggish. Listen, we have to be strategic and be prepared for your new year. You need all the energy that you need. You need to be in good health. You can't be a warrior. You can't be a strategist. You can't be an executor if you're tired all the time. You can't be a person that is like, oh, I am literally working all these hours, and the more money I make, the more it seems like it's going out. Because listen, it's all about knowing exactly what it takes to become the person that you are to be. It's all about knowing exactly what it requires for you to live the life that you say you want to live. You know, when we can break down, if I want to be a millionaire, how many sales does that take in a day? How many transactions do I need to make? How, like, people are going to functions, they're loving on people that cannot. There are all kind of people that are placed in our lives. They're the ones that we can call. I tell my friends, I'm your 911 person. Don't call me on the surface stuff. Call the other people that want to be all in their feelings. Call me when you need to shift your mindset. Call me when you are in a major crutch and you need to hold on to your core. Call me when you really need it. Don't waste that call on foolishness. You want to surround yourself with people that are going to, they're going to literally speak life into, not where you currently are, but where they know you're going, right? So let's go back over those 2 questions that changed my life, that allowed me to analyze and be prepared for the abundance. Remember, you know, forever and a day I was saying, you need to get your oil. You need to get your oil, because next year is the year that you can't call on nobody. Those people are on their assignments. They're not, their season of being able to just lift out the weight of others is over. The season of being people dumping off their problems because they're continuously making poor decisions, it's over. The season of being able to understand that God has purposed you for a mission and a calling, and those that are not ready to go cannot go. Listen, it's not about just taking and pulling and having people pull on you. The person has to have the anointing to deal with whatever they are saying they want to deal with. And that comes with the responsibility of going with their trials. That comes with them being accountable for their actions and their decisions. That comes with them being able to have skin in the game, right? You know, it's frustrating when you get to the point that you're looking around and you're like, well, if I really need something, the people that's on my phone that's calling me every 5 minutes can't help me. If I really needed to make a move, the people that I deal with on a daily basis, they've never gone anywhere. They can't offer me any kind of insight or perspective because they are literally limited based on the environment. It is trillions of people in this world that it's called, you know, it's a whole world out here. You know, it's a whole entire world out here. It's an entire universe full of people that if you level up, you're going to now not meet takers. You're going to meet your fellow warriors. You're going to meet people that are literally understanding what this thing is really about. You're going to meet people that are not surface level people. You're going to meet people that to the core, they've learned integrity. They understand that they had to heal in order. The more love you're able to give, the more you're able to receive. They understand the concept of what you put in, you get out, right? They understand of planting the seeds, and they understand they're not focused on instant gratification and just the moment of things. They're willing to sacrifice for seasons in order for longevity. See, longevity is not something that people talk about. That's why we have all these temporary situations. Blessings, everybody, for coming on. And blessings, Bishop Burris and my cousin Crystal. Hello, Barbara Brooks and Mr. McCrary. But listen, the level of wealth that's being transferred in 2020 is not ordinary. You want to make sure, because we're going into a recession, and you want to make sure that you've limited your liabilities. You want to make sure that you streamline your economics internally in reference to the way your money makes money. You put systems in place to be able to make money even if you don't get out of bed. And that requires seasons of what? Laying low and putting in the work. This is a season that you want to surround yourself by those that make sure that you're uncomfortable. They're not those that are going to tell you you're doing fine, and they're not pushing you into becoming your best. Next year is the year of foundation, meaning that for the rest of your life, how you want to live, you have the opportunity to be able to live in access of total abundance if you do the necessary steps. So that's why I came on today and said those 2 questions. It seems easy easy, but I'm telling you, it will give you revelation in reference to who you're dealing with, because regardless of how we feel, feelings mean nothing. It's about the bottom line. And when the Lord has placed you on this earth, he placed you on this earth to make a difference. And we're responsible with our time. So you're responsible with your gifts. You're responsible with all that you choose to do with it. Are you going to be the one in the Bible that had one gift and chose to hold it for himself? Or are you going to be the one that had 10 and get blessed with the 11? It's up to you how you maximize this life. But we're going to go back to those 2 questions. Write down 10 people that you deal with on a monthly basis. What value do they add to your life? Because it's real assessment season. You want to write down the 10 circumstances that you continuously deal with, that you're just continuously frustrated, meaning that these are things. Let me make sure, because I don't want this phone to I don't want this to die out. Hold on 1 second. You want to write out 10 things that you have consistently been seeing in your life over and over again that might limit you to being the person that you are destined to be, right? You want to write down those 10 things so that you can create a solution for it. If it's you learning money management, because the Lord can't bless you with the money if you are not a good steward of what he already has given you. The Lord is not going to give you the overflow when pride and ego is still in your spirit. You know, he's not going to set you up like that. He's not going to do it. Let me go over here and talk. The Lord is not going to set you up like that. Listen, he wants you to be prepared. That's why this year we've been dealing with boot camp. You know, this year it's been like straight boot camp, meaning that the situations was coming piece by piece by piece by piece. That it was like, I want you to get it. 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 It's only for those. It's not about the one that signs up. It's about the one that's willing to finish the race. Are you one of the ones that's going to be able to survive to the end? It's not about how it looks. You know, I remember growing up and we would see all the people under the shade tree and all they talking about is back in the days. You don't want to be one of the back in the days people that all you have is a fragment of a season in your life that's the only thing they have to talk about. Was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago when they used to be such and such and such and such. You know, you'll meet people that I've met elders that they stopped living at 16 or 15. Even though they might have been 70 something years old, because they stopped learning and growing. Life is about evolution. It's about continuously, we will never become or arrive. You know, it's a continuous process of purging, of evolving, of becoming the best person that you are designed to be able to continuously learn how to love on another level. Because remember, for me, I learned that I had to write down a list of people that continuously frustrated me, or people that continuously let me down, or circumstances that continuously made me have to worry about, you know, coming up with a strategy for a person. If my spirit, one thing I was telling one of my coaching clients the other day, if your spirit makes you feel like you have to prove something or show something to somebody, that is not the person you need to be connected to. Because the people that are meant for your season, those people actually confirm. They don't need confirmation from you. They affirm who you are. They're telling you what I see you doing. They're saying, oh, I need you to connect with so-and-so because I know you guys can work good together. You're not having to prove yourself. You're not shrinking down when you're dealing with those people. People that you're having to prove yourself to people, it's coming from a place of lack. That means that you're now having to question yourself. Going to insecurity areas that's not allowing you to boldly be in your fullness, right? Like not allowing you to be in a place of like truly owning your worth, right? We're now in a season where you have the opportunity to have every single thing that you have desired. You fought hard to get to this point. I want to tell you congratulations. You fought hard to become the person that you are today. Even from conception, you were one of the ones that made it. Everyone else didn't make it from conception. So you are supposed to be here. So I just want to encourage somebody today and just give, you know, as a life coach, we're supposed to help those be able to really get to the root of things. You know, my book will be coming out in June of this year, from disorder to divine order, how God took this girl that they wanted to set all the way up and allowed it to be a setup for nothing but his glory, right? From allowing me to be able to transform from the inside out and really be able to access my true identity through him. I want to help those. I know what it feels like to be depressed for 10 straight years, meaning that the battle of the mind, dealing with your self-worth, having self-hatred, being in a midst of confusion all the time and in turmoil, and knowing what it feels like to be free and to be living the dreams. Like, my life is a reality. The dreams that I used to have are now a reality in my life. And I don't want no one else that is ready to do the work to have to suffer, because it's available to you. It's all about getting to the root of the things that don't feel good, but it's necessary for your highest good. It's necessary in order for you to become the best wife and husband, mother, friend that you're supposed to be. You have to really get to the root of who you are, and it's an imperative aspect for you to heal on a level in which you are so unbothered, meaning that the things that used to be necessary are now unnecessary, which allows you to be in a place of peace, which now you can produce. When you're in a place of peace, you can produce anything. When you're in a place of peace, your power comes up. When you're in a place of peace, you don't need nothing from nobody. You're coming from a place of abundance. See, peace allows us to have contentment and be in a spirit of gratitude, right? Gratitude is where it is when you are just so thankful for the nothingness of life, when you're just so thankful for absolutely nothing. I was telling, I tell you guys my story when I lost it all for the last time, because that was the last time in 2012. I had to move back home with $50 to my name. Nobody knew it. I didn't look like it. I didn't talk like it. I didn't feel, because your outside circumstances don't determine who you are. But that was the biggest gift that I could have gotten, is learning how to literally, I choose how this day goes. It doesn't matter if I have $5 in my account or $5 million in my account. I get to choose how this day goes. I no longer allow people to dictate my life based on what they feel it should be for me. I no longer, I had to take the power back. You are able to take your power back and really live your one life. Remember, you only get one life. You don't get to redo this thing. Make sure that you're not one of the people that finish this life with a certificate of completion. Make sure you're one of the ones that actually get to hear, "Job well done, my good and faithful servant." Meaning that you were able to go over feelings. You were able to really mature your mind. You were willing to heal your heart. You were willing to go into the unknown. You were willing to address the uncomfortable. You were willing to face your demons. You were willing to sacrifice and lose it all to be. You can't gain it all unless you're willing to lose it all. So many people are like, "Oh, I want it. Are you willing to do what you got to do in order to become the person that you're supposed to be? That's the question. Because it's not going to feel good. It's not going to look good. I don't sugarcoat anything. Listen, when you sign up for your journey, when you really figure out who you are and God exposes and shows you who you are, you have to get ready mentally to fight. Spiritually, mentally, for your life, because the enemy doesn't want you to fulfill your true destiny. He wants you to be with the masses. If you're connected to the masses, honey, you failed. He wants you to be just the ordinary. He wants you to just be still based on emotions. Emotions is the lowest level of energy emotions mean nothing. They change all the time. And when I learned to not live my life in emotions is when my life changed. We're in a season that you have to make executive decisions. Remember what I tell you, executive decisions, meaning that you're going to have to make decisions that everyone is not going to like. But remember, you have one life to live, and you're responsible for your calling. You're responsible for the people that are waiting to meet you all across the world, that you're gifting. Only you. Nobody can do what you can do. I don't care if somebody copy the exact thing. They are not you. Long as you move a step forward and put it out in the atmosphere, I guarantee you the Lord will start handling the rest. He never fails you. He just wants us not to quit. For those that are fellow warriors in this season, listen here, baby girl and my brother, listen, we've been waiting on this time. It's time to play ball. Are you ready to play ball? It's time to play ball, right? Listen, this is the time that you should know thyself, know thy worth. Because the only way you're going to vibrate with that element of what you're trying to get connected to is only if you're in your highest energy, right? Everything is about energy. That's why you meet all these energy suckers. You meet people that just want to gravitate and pull from you and dump all their stuff out that they can continue. They can change all their situation, but they want to keep on going around us. They want to be in the wilderness. Are you going to be the one in the wilderness for 40 years with other people that just want to complain? Or are you going to be the one of the ones that get to experience the promised land? Listen. The promised land is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's everything they said it was. It's everything they said it was. Be one of the ones that's willing to not vibrate in your emotions. Be one of the ones that get to access the endless portal of abundance. Because every single thing that you want externally is actually located internally. So every single thing that you want outside of yourself is already inside of you. That's why he packaged it up in a nice little present for us, for those that are willing to go deep. And the only way to get that is through him, right? You can only access everything that God has for you is through him. He takes it, every situation, he takes back to him. Every single thing that happens in our life is designed to take us back to him. It's so beautiful, right? It's designed to take us back to him. So go straight to the Father. Ask him to show and reveal who I am. Lord, allow me to receive endlessly from the north, south, east, and the west, the abundance that you have for my life. Allow me to add value to every person I encounter. Allow me to effortlessly access the divine order that you have for my life, your will that you have for my life. Lord, please allow me to be a candidate of your glory. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to have the strength through the process. Those are the things you speak over your life. Remember, your words are powerful. Remember, if you're connected to the masses, you've already lost. Remember, if you are wanting to look to the left and the right and you're doing the same thing everybody else doing, you are off. Because your journey is customized just for you. The only person to give you the step-by-step direction is him. That's it. He designed it that way. So I hope you all are ready for 2020. That's the year of ascension. That's the year of going higher. That's the year of accessing when I tell you the generational blessings from so many generations before us have gone before us and sacrificed so that we will be able to live in this season. I'm just not talking. When you see it happening, you'll understand that I told you, right? So when it starts happening, if you follow simple steps and processes, do the hardcore evaluating in your life. It's not about being liked. It's about being effective. It's not about just, I want this, because a lot of people won't like you when you start telling them the truth. Everyone is not ready for the truth. Everyone is not ready to really live, and it's not meant for them to, because they were never signing up for it. They were never willing to do the work. So don't catch yourself dealing with people that are never going to do the work. Listen, this is your season. It's time to make difficult decisions. Are the people that you're surrounding yourself with allowing you, pushing you, helping you become your best self? Are you putting yourself in a position to live your best life? Are you allowing yourself to become and develop the necessary tools to be able to have generational wealth, not just for you and your bills every month, but for your kids' kids, right? If he mandated that you are to leave for your kids' kids, that means that you have the capacity to access a level of abundance on that level for not just you, but for generations after you. So many are barely just living for themselves. It's not about survival. It's about thriving. Heal on that level. So those are the two questions I'm going to go over one more time for those that are just joining. The two questions that changed my life is write down 10 people that you deal with on a monthly basis and write down next to their names the value that they add to your life, and assess if those individuals should go into this next season. Then you also have to understand that you want to analyze the 10 cycles that you continuously are dealing with. What are 10 confusions that you continuously keep jumping over? Is it that you lack money management? It's not that you get money, but do you know how to keep money and multiply money? It's not that you meet people. Do you know how to build successful relationships? It's not that you are not a good giving person. It's that you are giving to the wrong people. people. It's that you are giving to takers. You know, the Bible tells us about giving to those that are not. Is it fruitful terrace? Is it fertile ground? Just to be giving is not it. When the people are steady making the same poor decisions month after month in their lives, they're steady not changing anything. And you're giving off things that it's not fertile ground. You're not helping them. They're in the same situations 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. Enough is enough. How long are you going to waste your time with those type of people? They're continuously doing the wrong thing, or they're continuously doing nothing. You only have one life to live. If you notice, this last decade has flown by. Where did the time go? It will continue until you leave this earth. If you maximize and understand why am I here? What shall you have me to do? What do I need to do to be able to add value and change in the world? Who am I assigned to? Am I healed enough to even be able to be in my assignment? Because they're going to pull your triggers. And if you're not healed, you don't want to hurt. So it's necessary that you take the time to master who you are. Self-mastery is everything. So the 2 questions, once again, write down 10 people that you deal with, because you are only a collaboration of the 10 people that you deal with on a regular basis. You're only going to go as far as your environment. So if you are around people that ain't never gone nowhere, ain't never did nothing, guess what your life is going to look like? If you're around people that are just willing to talk instead of the Bible tells us not to be a talker but a doer. You need to be a doer. It's action based. The Bible is movement based. Everybody had to do something in the Bible. The Lord never waved a magic wand and just it happened. No, they had to put in the work. They had to travel across lands. They had to literally go through the fire. They had to go in the pits. They had to literally go in the well. You had to do the work. Everybody has to do the work. There is no easy route in this thing. But when you know that he will literally give you back every single thing that you might have lost in the process, just like Job, he will bless you. I am a witness. If anything you thought you might have lost in your process, the Lord will bless you 10 times fold on anything that you might have lost. And then he's going to allow you to get it back quicker than you lost the last. Come on now, he's going to give it back to you so much quicker if you're willing to let it go. It's so many people need to let go of some things. They holding on to crumbs when the Lord said, I got a full plate over here packed to the rim at the foot of the table for you, and you over here eating off the floor. You over here acting like the bare basics is everything. And that's not even the beginning of what he has for you. Because remember, it's only for those that are ready. And I pray that 2020, we get in alignment for those that are really our tribe. And for those that we really are able to resonate and grow with, and that are able to help us become our best selves. Remember, we only got one life to live. One. When you take your last breath, that is it. That is it. I need to say that one more time. When you take your last breath, that is it. Did you allow peace to be your atmosphere? Did you allow yourself to be in prosperity? Like, don't wait to get to heaven to get the riches. He said it should be done on heaven as it is on earth. You can have it here. Once again, because next year you all will see less of me, because next year's a year of focus. It's a year of strategically being connected to my assignments. It's connected to those that are in alignment and those that have put in the work. No, I am not perfect. No, I have my flaws. No, yes, I have my flaws. I have my flip sides. I have my ugly. But one thing about it, if I am wrong, I am wrong. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it and make it all pretty. Because I want to become my best. It's not about me. It's about the big picture. And it's about moving the kingdom forward, right? So next year's a year being effective. Make sure you get your foundation together that will literally build a legacy for those that are coming behind you in your family. If you're one of the chosen ones in your family that is designed to go through the processes and be able to break the curses and be able to be the ones that go ahead and see on the other side what this thing is really about, you have a responsibility to know that God has you. You don't have to protect yourself anymore. You don't have to guard yourself anymore. You don't have to do all that. He has you. He's always had you. One thing I've learned in the last quarter is that the Lord has me. I don't have to do any of that stuff that I've been doing my entire life. It is not necessary. That I can fully trust him in everything, because at the end of the day, he's had each and every one of us the whole entire time. We should not overthink anything anymore. Next year is the year, and you're going to hear it everywhere. 2020 is the year of divine clarity. If you are confused, you need to literally get on your knees and ask the Lord to show you what all you need to do to get in position. If you are angry, you need to shut yourself off and deal with yourself. Allow him to heal your heart. If you're not in a place other than peace, because peace is the only thing, and gratitude is the only thing that gets you in alignment with your real divine season of this life, right? So 2020 is the year of overflow, generational wealth, the transfer like no other. That's the year that you can't just be getting ready. You need to be ready. That's the year that those that you used to call upon, everyone needs to have their own oil, meaning their own oil. Did they put their time in? Did they get their own anointing? Did they allow themselves to go through their own purging phase, right? So write down 10 people that you deal with on a monthly basis. Write down the value that they add to your life. Write down the 10 things that you have consistently been dealing with over your life that you want to be done with. Write down next to it a solution for it. And then you cross them out in order of priority, one by one. Get as clear as possible with that, because that's going to also allow you to not be stressed out no more. That's going to also allow you not to be in a spirit of frustration. That's going to also allow you not to be doubting and trusting. When you eliminate and you create solutions for those things, thank you, Mother. When you eliminate and you create solutions for each and every one of those things, it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. When you eliminate the things that's pulling you instead of literally guiding you, it's a breath of fresh air. God bless you all. I hope this was able to help and bless somebody. Please share this video on out, because somebody needs this before 2020. Those 2 questions alone, if you do it the right way and stick to it and don't worry about how people are going to feel about it. It's about executive decisions. And it's about you are not helping them. You are hurting them. Don't continue to be their crutch, because everyone has to get their own oil. Everyone has to pick up their own cross. And everyone has to complete their own journey the way they see fit. So check your environment. Make sure it's sound and ready and it's fertile ground. Make sure you're able to literally reap your harvest. Make sure you get rid of all those that are pulling on your toe coat. Make sure you are literally getting rid of the energy leeches from around you. Make sure you are getting, like, I am in a season of being a student. Listen, you have to know when you are the student and when you are the teacher. When you can't be both. One thing that taught me about being since I was in the 1st grade, I had talkative, and she was very defiant. She makes a great grades, but she's very defiant. One thing I learned, that the very things that I used to fight against and a bad attitude and wanting to be right, forget being right. Focus on being effective. Forget being the one that gets to speak for the people when they're not willing to speak for themselves. Listen, they have to get what they need to get. When you're the one that literally gets ostracized all the time because you're trying to speak up for those that no one is, they doing them wrong, and you getting fired every 5 minutes. You're trying to be the one that's standing up for it. No, you need to stay focused. You need to understand, I met a young girl the other day, and I was like, listen here, it's not about being right. Even if you are right, it's not about being heard, because there's a time and a place for everything. Just because you want to say it at this moment, it's not the time that they're meant to listen. Listen, you have to understand when you are the student and when you're the teacher, because then they will let you, if you're the student and you want to act like the teacher, they will let you go ahead and get your own classroom. They'll say, listen here, you know it all. I got the degrees and I'm getting the paycheck, and you around here want to teach my class. That's what they used to tell me. Well, come teach the class. And then next thing you know, I'm suspended, right? So now I have a derogatory energy about myself. Now every single school that I get transferred to, they know who I am before I get there. Now I have preconceived notions about me before I get there. Now people are heading up, they're telling people a heads up about you before you get there. That's not about the positive. So now they're all on defense mode for you before you even get there. Now you living a whole life setting yourself up to be in defense mode your whole entire life, because you got to be fighting your whole life because they're saying you're this and that, and you haven't even said a word. But that's what I learned from having a bad attitude. That's what I learned from wanting to be right. So that's why when I meet other young ladies or men that, listen, baby, get your lesson. The very thing you fighting right now that people are trying to tell you, you don't want to have to be dealing with this as an adult. You will miss out on a lot of opportunities, and you will miss out on a lot of blessings because they just won't deal with you. When you're difficult, they just won't deal with you. And you can be right and you can be broke. You can be right and you can be hurt. You can be right and you can be misunderstood. You can be right and you can be left out. You can be right. You get where I'm going with this? But I'm right. No, the only person needs to know that is you. So check yourself, because the Lord blesses you through people. If anything the Lord has given you, if it only requires you, that is not from the Lord. You know, so we've learned how to create these own little worlds and these bubbles of just us. If the Lord only required you to get it done, that's not from the Lord. He made it so that it was it's just like this ball right here. You see, it looks like it's one ball, but you see all those connecting pieces, all those little dots. That's how he made this thing to be. It's going to be so many people across the world that is joined together to help you become this one person. He has designed it so that you have to learn how to get out of your feelings. He has designed it that you have to learn personalities. You have to learn and master how to get along with others. You have to learn how to be a team player. You have to learn. You see, it's one ball, but you see all those different balls in between. He designed it in order for you to become this, because you can just stay being just this right here. Or you can become this whole entire big collaborate of energies and people that are literally sent to help you become your best self, which is the magnitude of it all. But if you are stuck on your feelings and being right, and you got a nasty attitude, guess what you're going to end up being? This right here. They're going to leave you alone. They're not going to bless you. They're going to give that opportunity to somebody else. They're going to fire you. They're going to literally be like, you know what? You know it all. You know what? Because I've learned that it's not about being right. It's about being effective. You know, when I got in corporate America and got my dream job, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm making this money. I got this office. I got this title. And I still got fired because what? My attitude, my mouth. And it's not about being right. You can do your job. Listen, living is only 20%. Mastery is the rest. If you don't learn how to master this thing, you will only be susceptible to the 20% of living, which is they're going to cut you out. Meaning that it's not about being accepted. It's about knowing how to be the person God has designed you to be. And that's allowing you to have a totality of multiple different exposures and experiences, and knowing not just knowledge. You can be smart and have no wisdom. It's more than just having knowledge. It's about having wisdom, not just what to say, but when to say it. You need to know when you need to say what you need to say. You need to know in every environment, they need not to know everything about you. You need to know when you are talking to this, you have to understand your audience. Everybody should not be privy to everything about you. It's just like being an entrepreneur and being a serial entrepreneur. It is only relevant to the audience that I'm talking to. With some audiences, I am a stylist. With some audiences, I'm a coach. With some audiences, I am a businesswoman. With some audience, I am a general contractor. I can build your house, your building. We can partner up together. We can get these contracts together. With some audience, I am multifaceted, right? But you don't have to give out. You got to know when and how. That comes with mastery. Trust my word. One thing my dad taught me is everybody ain't gonna make it. Just make sure you ain't one of them somebodies, right? You have to make sure you live this life for what it really is. And that requires you. The Bible says you have to be willing to forsake all. Sometimes we're just trying to hold on to everybody. When some of those, remember, Judas is always around. Judas is always around, right? The Judases in your life are always around. Long as you know who they are, you are good to go, right? The Lord knew Judas was present. Listen, you guys, God bless you. I hope this was able to help somebody on their journey getting ready, that wants more out of life, that just doesn't want to have the status quo, that just don't want to just be stuck on things. It's not just about things if you're empty in the inside. It's about truly being able to love and be able to have the ability to love, to truly be able to add value and impact and change lives. And that requires you to really master who you are and what God has destined you to be. So those two questions again, once again, are The 10 people that you deal with on a monthly basis, you need to see what value they add to your life so that you can get and also see what are you supposed to be getting from their personalities or their attributes that you need to have in your life, because we recognize in people what we see in ourselves, right? Sometimes when we recognize in people, it's because you see the same thing in you. And when you have access to those people, it's imperative that you get the blessing of understanding their gifting so that you can add that to your own life, right? So the very thing that you add, you can learn from them and add that to your life, right? So the second question is, see the 10 things in your life that have continuously been a frustration or a hurdle or a block in your life. Make sure you add a solution to it very quickly. Add a solution. If that is learning budgeting, if that is no longer being connected on that level with certain people, if that is allowing yourself to focus, if that's allowing you to have to get yourself in a position that you can learn how to wake up early. You know, one of my goals next year is to wake up at 3, 4 in the morning every day, so my day is done by the time everybody else get up. So the majority of my mind work is in a clarity space. I've been able to pray. I've been able to meditate. I've been able to get myself together. The majority, you know, it's all about what your goals are and what you know the value that it adds to your day. As a serial entrepreneur, I have many hats. And I had to learn how to juggle each single one of them because they all require different aspects of yourself. If you're a person that you know that you were destined to have that level of overflow, it's going to come with great responsibility. For much is giving, much is required. So no, it's not easy, but it's sure worth it, right? So it's not about money, but it's about allowing yourself to buy your time so that you can actually enjoy this life instead of working the whole life, right? So God bless you. Remember, your intellectual property is everything. This right here is the very thing that changes your life. This right here is the very thing that literally is able to house your life. So your heart space and your mind and this vessel, make sure you take care of it. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I love you. Happy early New Year's. For those that are in a process of transformation and need coaching, you can text transform, the word transform, TRANSFORM, to 31996. For those that are needing a personal coach or a personal need one of my coaching program, I have a 12-week coaching program. I have one-on-ones available for those that are like, oh, listen here, I need to have a structure, accountability to be able to access. I don't know what I don't know. Listen, I am here for you. So just text 31996 and the word transform, TRANSFORM, the word transform, to 31996. I am here for you. Get connected. You will get on my email list. We will be able to help you through your transformation process. Listen, I'm excited. Listen, the people that I'm assigned to, I knew that all of that stuff was for a reason. I've done it for you. I'm so excited to be able to offer value and be able to help you get the insight and to strategize on your game plans. Listen, it's some things to be done in 2020. God bless you. Remember to have your budget in place, and remember, everything requires a budget. Understand what your budget is. Understand that you have cleared out your way when you're dealing with a coach, or you're dealing with, when I have a couple business clients set up the first week of January, that it's certain protocols. I'll be, as soon as you get on, I email you over the questionnaire form. You're able to fill out and tell me exactly where you are, where you're trying to go, so we can analyze what's getting you stuck, what we have to eliminate, where we have to grow, and the tools that we need to get you there. But listen here, I'm excited. I hope you are ready. God bless you. This is our season. Do those 2 questions, and I guarantee you it will change your life. There's a lot of people that's just in our call log can't help us get to where we're going. Listen, you don't want to be one of the people under the shade tree talking about back in the days, woulda, coulda, shoulda, I was this and this happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. You want to be relevant and continuously growing and continuously being of use. Sign up for your journey. Be committed to it. It is there for you. So share this video on out for those that are joining late that don't know who I am. I am Nekia Foxx from the Transformation Place, where I help amazing men and women transform from the inside out, gaining clarity, confidence, and a sense of true self-worth, right? so that they can be able to monetize their gifts, and so that they're able to create wealth in every single area of their lives, right? It's all about knowing who you are, what you house, and how to strategize and how to get the systems in place to be able to get it to the masses, right? God bless you. Have an amazing day.